I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. I know it. I know it already. So, it looks like they're trying to make Joel and Ellie have some sort of relationship here. And to be honest, in the past episodes that we've seen, they've been acting like complete strangers. All this while it felt like Ellie hated being in the presence of Joel. Like she didn't want to be here. Joel didn't want to be here. They didn't progress that relationship at all. Like from the beginning of the show till up until before this episode, right? You could say maybe we had probably like one or two scenes where they showed some sort of development in their relationship. And then now in this episode, it seems like we're jumping way ahead in terms of their relationship, and it doesn't feel natural at all. Ellie, with the joke book, it doesn't feel sincere. Like she's reading off jokes, she's laughing, having fun, and Joel is, just like, all right, whatever, I don't care. That's just like the game. Remember when Ellie was talking about Tess? She was like, yeah, I wasn't sorry, so don't pin it on me. She was like, she doesn't like Joel. She doesn't like Joel. Their relationship are like complete strangers. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Whatever. There was no development in their relationship. There was no any bond or nothing. There was no gradual development. And now, the way she's telling jokes, the way she's trying to talk to him, it seems like she's wanting some sort of affirmation from Joel, wanting some type of attention from Joel. And it felt like she didn't want that before. So it's like we're jumping where like the relationship, we didn't get to see it develop. We just thought, okay, it was this way. Next episode, boom. I don't know what they're doing. Like with previous interactions with Joel and Ellie, she was coming across as mean. Like she was saying mean things to him. She was not behaving like Ellie in the game.
How'd you get that scar on your head?
What? Is it something lame? Like you fell down the stairs or something?
I didn't fall down any stairs.
Okay, so what then?
Someone shot at me and missed.
See, that's cool. Shoot back?
Yeah.
You get him?
No, I missed too. It happens more often than you think.
Because you suck at shooting or like in general?
In general.
So now when she was reading the jokes, she's laughing, and then Joel is saying, stop. And then she's continuing to laugh louder. It felt like, it didn't feel like it did in the game. Like, there you have this kid who is telling a joke, and she's finding it funny, and it's annoying Joel, and he's like, I don't really care, like, whatever. But in the show, it seems like she's doing it on purpose to irritate Joel, to get at him, to jab at him. And that's not how it should have come across at all. And I don't know if it came across that way to you. It only came across that way in only one of the jokes to me.
Volume 2 by Will Livingston. Volume 2. Look, you get it? 2? Like T-O-O? What did the mermaid wear to her math class? An algebra. Like algebra. I stayed up all night, wondering where the sun went. And then it dawned on me.
They didn't get the dynamic between Joel and Ellie right, moving up to this point. And then boom, immediately now they're trying to shift it. You need to have that gradual build. You can't just, okay, relationship has changed now. They're having some type of relationship. They're not just strangers to each other who hate each other. I don't know. As they're talking, doing the jokes, as they're driving in the car, the whole scene with the magazine and everything, I was like, yo, this is cringe. This is sad. Like, I'm thinking back to the game, and like that felt so natural. Like the build-up of the relationship between them two felt so natural. And this is like, we messed up with the dynamic all this while. And then now, boom, we're trying to jump into it this way, and then it's just falling flat, man. It doesn't feel natural at all. And I want to make the point that it's not the actor's fault, Joel and Ellie. It's not their fault. Honestly, it feels like they have to battle against the writing for the show. They camped out at night in the middle of a forest. I like seeing Joel stand guard, watch over at night, and they wake up, and Ellie goes to smell the coffee. Like, what is this? That was a funny scene. They get in the car again, and they're driving off, and the dynamic now is getting a little bit better, right? At the beginning, it was just like, where did this come from? Doesn't make any sense. But it's getting a little bit better. Hopefully, in the next episode, it will flow more organically, more naturally. But they're driving in the car, and Ellie is asking Joel about Tommy. And she's like, he's like, it's a long story. And he's like, we have 24 hours. Like, that scene was nice. I like that. So they're continuing to drive, and we get to the scene where they get jacked, right? And they crash into the store. Joel and Ellie get out of the car, and they're hiding behind the car while they're getting shot at. And Joel's looking at Ellie, and he's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Look at me. Just look at me, right? You know, trying to reassure her, comfort her. And it felt good coming from Joel. Like, you know, he's being protective. You know, he's watching out for her, looking out for her, right? I like that coming from Joel. But he was being so reassuring and so protective. And then looking at the look on Ellie's face, she didn't seem phased at all. She didn't seem scared. So, like, I'm like, why are you being so reassuring and so protective over this girl that's honestly not even scared? Like, it didn't match. The expressions on both the faces didn't match. Like, her expression, it didn't feel like she needed that protection, that reassuring. So why are you being so forceful with the reassuring? It felt off. Like Ellie needed to have that, you know, like, holy cow, what's going on? This is crazy. I'm overwhelmed, right? And we do get a little bit of that when Joel asks her to crawl through the wall. She has her back up against the wall, and she's like hearing everything, and you could see it in her eyes. Like, she's like, whoa, what's going on? And they took another turn away from the game with the show in how Ellie saves Joel. Ellie saves Joel during this fight. So Joel is fighting this guy, and the guy has a gun choking up against Joel's neck, and Ellie comes out with the gun that she took from Bill's house. And that's the other thing. Ellie taking the gun from Bill's house really diminishes that scene when Joel gives the gun to Ellie in the game. Like, that was a strong scene, and we don't get that. We sort of get that in this show, but it's completely different than the game. So before I get to that, right? So Ellie shoots the guy. He doesn't die, and saves Joel. And then Joel tells Ellie to get back, right? The guy's begging, pleading, Ellie, you know, here, you know, I have this. We can trade, blah, blah, blah. You know, please, you know, don't kill me off. You know, my mom is over there, stuff like that, right? And then Joel's like, get behind the wall, and proceeds to stab the guy to death. And that was good. I like that. But the reaction to the gun is what is completely out of character for Joel. At least Joel in the game. Joel in the show, different character, I guess. So Ellie's behind the wall while Joel is killing the guy. And it was nice seeing Ellie shaken up a bit, like a little bit vulnerable, right? Because she's been so hard-headed up until now. And it was nice to see her actually express some vulnerability, some emotion. So then Joel and Ellie keep walking around, and it was nice seeing Ellie crawling up through walls, you know, how it's in the game, right? You used Ellie to get through tight places, to go through little small holes, to unlock doors to get in. It was nice seeing stuff like that. So they get into this room, and they both are in this room, and they're talking, and Joel says sorry to Ellie. He says sorry to Ellie about having to shoot the guy. That is the exact opposite reaction to Joel in the game, right? First of all, if it played out the way it did in the show, in the game, Joel would have been so pissed that she took the gun, right? And he would have avoided all other feelings. He would have avoided saying, you know, thank you for saving me, just like he did in the game. He didn't want to. Oh man.
I shot the hell out of that guy, huh?
Yeah, you sure did.
I feel sick.
And you just hang back like I told you to.
Well, you're glad I didn't, right?
I'm glad I didn't get my head blown off by a goddamn kid.
You know what? No. How about, hey, Ellie, I know it wasn't easy, but it was either him or me. Thanks for saving my ass. You got anything like that for me, Joel?
We gotta get going.
Lead the way.
It's completely out of character, right? He was stumbling over his words, saying, I'm sorry, it's my fault. You shouldn't have been in that situation. You shouldn't have, I know the guy, you didn't kill the guy, but you shouldn't have even shot the guy to hurt the guy. See what I'm saying? When Joel is soft in this show. And to top it all off, he gives the gun back to her. I don't know, man. They're changing a lot. And it might not seem like a lot, like, oh, that's not how he gave the gun, right? But it's big character differences. It might not be like event differences, like, okay, that actually didn't happen, this happened, blah, blah, blah. But it's character differences. Like the character wouldn't have done that. The character wouldn't have acted that way in the game. He wouldn't have acted, or she wouldn't have reacted to that situation in the game. So if they're acting and reacting differently in the show, that means they're two different characters, because this character wouldn't have done that, but this character is. They're two different people. Joel in the show and Joel in the game are two completely different characters. Ellie in the show and Ellie in the game are two completely different characters. And also, who is Kathleen? There was no Kathleen in the game. They're just pulling off this random character out of nowhere. That's what I don't like. Last episode, Bill and Frank, we had this whole entire story about them two that wasn't in the game. And now we're focusing on Kathleen. We need to be focusing on Joel and Ellie. We didn't get that dynamic built up between them two, and now it's causing problems. Yes, now we're slowly getting on the right track with them too. Right? We're not even slowly. We're quickly getting on the right track. And that's bad because it's too fast. And we need to have had time for them two to develop. Bill and Frank, we didn't need that backstory. We could have used that time to develop Joel and Ellie's characters, develop Joel and Ellie's relationship. And then now we have this character called Kathleen. How is she going to play into all of this? I know it sounds like I'm being really hard on the show, but I am being really hard on the show because I've seen the source material. Like, if I didn't watch the source material and I had nothing to compare it to, I wouldn't be nowhere nearly this hard, okay? It's only because I'm a big fan of the game, so I have high expectations for the show. Anyways, Joel and Ellie keep making their way through the city, and they find I was about to say an abandoned building. All the buildings are abandoned. They find a building to crash at, right? They got their mattresses. They're laying down, and Ellie reads another joke, and Joel laughs. I don't remember Joel laughing at any of the jokes from Ellie's book, but honestly, right now, let's just put away the game for a bit. Look at solely the show. That moment was nice. I like that moment. Seeing them both smile, actually being okay with being in each other's company. Ellie wanting some sort of affirmation from Joel, like she's being happy that, Joel laughed at the joke, and Joel's actually enjoying Ellie's company. It was heartwarming to see. Joel and Ellie fall asleep, and then the two of them are woken up with two guys pointing guns at them, Sam and Henry. And that's how the episode ends. So while I'm happy that Joel and Ellie are now not acting like strangers, I just really wish we had that dynamic build as we watched. I wish we could have seen that relationship grow, because that's the core of The Last of Us, the relationship between Joel and Ellie. So if we're not seeing the relationship build and grow, what's the point in this show? What's the point in the story? Right? You see what I'm saying? Like, that is the focus. That should be the focus. Not Bill and Frank, not Kathleen. I hope Kathleen doesn't become a focus. Yeah, she could be some side character. But we need to remember that the focus is Joel and Ellie. The relationship between Joel and Ellie. We need to see their relationship grow. And while we got more so in a right place with the relationship, we didn't see how they got from point A to point B. And the getting from point A to point B, the journey, is what is the most important thing about The Last of Us. And they didn't seem to show us that. So all I can do is I can hope from here on out, from episode 4 on, right? Now we're going into 5. Episode 5 on, that they will focus on Joel and Ellie. They will show that relationship continue to grow. And hopefully they can do that. Hopefully. But those are my thoughts about this episode. What do you guys think about it? I know I had a lot of gripes with it, but we might be in the right place where we are right now. We might. We'll find out in episode 5. Hopefully things get better. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about the episode down below in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.